While Shan Shan was turning on the camera to take selfies, a man was bringing water behind her. However, she was so focused on her selfies that she didn't notice. He was the killer number 47. Taking advantage of Shan Shan's distraction, he had slipped something into her back. While Shan Shan was taking pictures, her phone rang. Sin, your mom's phone, she said. Shan Shan walked to the poolside and handed the phone to Sin to talk. Mom, I won't come home today. Sister Shan Shan is visiting me, and I want to stay and play with her for 2 more days. I'm grown up now. Don't worry. After finishing the call with her mom, Sin pouted. Sister Shan Shan, let's swim 2 more laps. However, Shan Shan replied, let's not swim anymore. Let's go eat something. No sooner had Shan Shan finished speaking than she suddenly collapsed onto the ground, causing Sin to cry out in fear. Sister Shan Shan, what's wrong? Sin immediately climbed out of the pool and shouted, what's wrong with you? Don't scare me. She shook Shan Shan's head vigorously, continuously calling her name, but Shan Shan remained unconscious. At that moment, Sin had no idea that danger was looming over her as well. Behind Sin, killer number 47 was slowly approaching with a syringe in hand. However, before he could act, he was grabbed by Wu Shen. Wu Shen knocked the syringe to the ground. Are you still not going to stop, 47? Sin saw Wu Shen and shouted, Teacher! Her eyes could not hide her fear. Number 47 growled for a moment and then pulled out a knife. Who are you? Do you want to die? However, Wu Shen quickly subdued him with ease. Struggling as useless, 47 followed him for a while. Wu Shen twisted his arm to control him and he kept cursing. Who the hell are you, shit? The more he struggled, the tighter Wu Shen's grip became. Caught completely off guard, the murderer screamed like a wild beast. His eyes were wide and looked terrifying. Knowing he couldn't escape, he asked Wu Shen, no one has ever followed me. Who are you really? Wu Shen smiled but did not answer, leaving him curious. You have no right to ask until you die. The only thing you can do is wait for your fate's verdict. Half a day later, at the Liu family headquarters, Wu Shen brought murderer number 47. Ina, upon seeing the very killer who had murdered her fiancé, was shaking with anger. Si Jing was such a kind and gentle person. Why did you kill him? In response to Ina's curiosity, number 47 calmly replied, knife at the hip, blade in hand. A life is as cheap as that of a pig or dog. It's just killing. Does it need a reason? Hearing this, Ina was furious. Remembering her fiancé who had unexpectedly died on their wedding day, she couldn't help but shed tears. Wu Shen asked Ina, have you thought of a way to take revenge? Ina replied, I have thought countless times about how to torture him when I catch him, but Si Jing definitely wouldn't want me to become like that. It's better to leave it to the police so he can face the punishment of the law. Upon hearing about the police, number 47 suddenly seemed to go mad. You want to hand me over to the police? I've hated the police since I was a child. Damn it, kill. His eyes at that moment narrowed to a milky white. When the police were mentioned, he seemed to go wild. Police must die. All police must die. In his memory, there were days of his childhood in America. In some neighborhood on one night, he witnessed a scene that children should not have seen. His mother, a girl serving a man. He mocked her. This war, haven't you eaten yet? Your voice is so weak. It doesn't sound good to me. Shit. I've always protected you and your kid. I'm bored with all this. Let the kid come here and kneel down and lick my toes. Number 47 walked in at that moment, his eyes filled with pain as he looked at his mother and that man. The man, seeing he wouldn't lick his feet, straightened his leg and kicked. Son of a streetwalker can't even lick a toe. Not only that, but the man also ruthlessly hit his mother. You worthless trash. Don't you usually teach your brat? His mother didn't dare fight back, only cried and endured. Number 47, witnessing his mother being beaten mercilessly, could no longer bear it. His eyes filled with fury, gritting his teeth. Seeing this, the man pulled out a gun. Brat, still planning to fight? Dan, are you tired of living? Just as he was about to pull the trigger, number 47's mother rushed to stop him, shouting, Son, run fast. With no other option, he could only run while crying, leaving his mother behind. Unable to help his mother, he kept crying. Perhaps this was the thing he would regret the most later, and also one of the reasons he would become a brutal murderer at the Dong family mansion. Miss, the police have sent news. Someone has been arrested for the plot to kill the young master. Dong Sin was watering the plants and was overjoyed upon hearing the news. Who was caught? Didn't director Wang say there was no news before? Dong Sin is the sister having the closest relationship with the victim. She had been investigating her brother's death all this time. The man continued to speak. I heard that the son-in-law of the Lai family in Donghai, the boyfriend of Lai Rubing, is Wu Shen. Dong Sin couldn't hide her surprise. Wu Shen, After mobilizing so many police in the past years with no clues at all, he managed to catch someone. Perhaps I can take revenge for my brother. 2 days later, Dong Sin decided to find Wu Shen. She thought to herself, this is Wu Shen's base, but I've never been to a place like this. What should I do? After some hesitation, Dong Sin decided to go in. As soon as she entered, she was greeted with, beautiful girl, feeling shy to come in? Come with me, I'll take you inside. Immediately, he was kicked down to the ground by another man. Get out of the way, don't cause trouble. Dong Sin approached Wu Shen. Sorry, Mr. Wu, I am Dong Sin, may I get to know you? The young man recognized her as soon as he saw her. Oh, the little princess of the Dong family. Let's be straightforward, Miss Dong, what do you need? As Dong Sin shook hands with Wu Shen, she said, I heard that you caught murderer number 47. Could you help me catch one more person? Of course, I can't let you help for free. Within my abilities, I can do anything to repay you. Consider it a favor or a deal. What do you think? Wu Shen nodded. I understand, but what can you do? Dong Sin spoke with determination. As long as it does not go against justice, does not harm the honor of the Dong family, and does not violate ethics, I can do anything. Wu Shen thought to himself, people say that Dong Sin is the most capable of inheriting the Dong family's legacy. Meeting her today, she indeed has a certain personal charm. Then I will help her, pulling the Dong family towards me, controlling my family. Wu Shen replied, all right, I will help you. As for what I need you to do in return, I haven't thought of that yet. We will discuss it later. Dong Sin looked at Wu Shen with grateful eyes. Wonderful. That's amazing. You can rest assured I will definitely keep my promise. In special cell number 1 of Donghai Prison, number 47 lay motionless on the ground. Wu Shen spoke to him. Is it uncomfortable to wear the shackles? Here, worry that you can only crawl like a dog. He angrily replied, didn't you cause me to end up like this? What more do you want? Wu Shen calmly answered, you were treated specially because you have killed too many police officers, but I can make your time here a bit more comfortable. Number 47 asked suspiciously, I'm afraid you're not that kind-hearted. Wu Shen continued, I only need you to provide a bit of information in return. Your old teammate, propagandist number 69, number 47's gaze suddenly became fierce. Betray a teammate? What makes you think I would do that? Although I am just a scum, I am not so low as to be garbage like that. However, Wu Shen asserted, as I see it, most things in this world can be traded as long as the price is reasonable. So I'll ask again, if I make New York senior police officer Robert Leto disappear, will you provide information about number 69 to me? Upon hearing this, number 47's expression began to change. He remembered Robert Leto, a senior police officer who now had many artists backing him, along with numerous gangs as his henchmen, having become an underground kingpin in New York. For the past 3 years, not only has Robert Leto been alive, but he has also been growing stronger. Even though you have become a top assassin, getting close to him would be uncontrollable. Trembling at the thought of him, you cannot kill him. Am I wrong? Mentioning Robert Leto, number 47 trembled, grinding his teeth and uttering each word. Robert Leto. He clenched his fists, making the ropes binding him creak. At this moment, Dong Sin also arrived at the prison to see the culprit who had killed her brother. Wu Shen said to number 47, I won't deny it. It seems you agree. Seeing Wu Shen about to leave, Dong Sin curiously asked, Mr. Wu, will we be heading to New York next? Wu Shen replied, close enough, but you go your way and I'll go mine. We will meet in New York. 2 days later in New York, Wu Shen grabbed Dong Sin's hand, signaling her, keep your voice down, follow me. Dong Sin hesitated. Mr. Wu, but the current plan is to go to the massage parlor in Chinatown. Wu Shen interrupted. Don't say anything else, let's go. Inside a room, Wu Shen told Dong Sin, Miss Dong, take it off. Clothes, shoes, everything has to come off. Dong Sin looked at Wu Shen with a panicked expression. No, Mr. Wu, that's not part of our agreement. Wu Shen smiled. I only instructed you to change into the massage parlor's outfit. This is for the investigation of your travel group. Don't think too much. At that moment, Dong Sin finally breathed a sigh of relief. Among Robert Leto's subordinate gangs, the strongest is the North American branch of the Ding family, the Dong Ho Hu Yang. Dong Ho Hui has 3 branches, North America, Japan, and Southeast Asia. All 3 operate together, but mostly through cross-border travel groups. This cross-border travel offers a particularly attractive service. Before boarding the plane, tourists will go to a designated massage parlor for a full-body massage. After an 11-hour flight, they will visit the massage parlor again and receive an 80% discount on travel costs. As a result, the majority of the 50 people in the group participate in this activity. Wu Shen thought to himself, in the eyes of others, this is just a marketing tactic, believing that the little money earned from the travel group will be made up at the massage parlor. But I don't think so. The liaison for the three branches of Dong Ho is Lai Dingshu, who had previously kidnapped Master Ran. For this reason, Wu Shen cannot personally join the group. Otherwise, it would raise alarm. After a while, Dong Sin finished changing clothes. She softly said, Mr. Wu, I've finished changing. Wu Shen replied, let me see what special service Dong Ho is really hiding. After saying that, Wu Shen did not forget to glance carefully at Dong Sin from head to toe to check. He said, head, arms, waist, chest, legs, nothing unusual. What about the legs? As Wu Shen spoke and examined thoroughly, he suddenly discovered something. What is this? Dong Sin gasped and exclaimed, Wu Shen found 0.5 grams of type 4 heroin hidden in the gap of Dong Sin's toenail. He thought to himself, in 1,000 years of reincarnation, I haven't paid much attention to tricks like this, but I didn't expect them to play such a move. The three branches of Dong Ho have a cross-border tour group to the US every day, each group consisting of 45 people. Each year, they can quietly bring in $30 million worth of heroin. The rest is even easier as the next step is dog eat dog. Wu Shen said, Miss Dong, after you change, we will go. I want to meet an old friend who is currently in New York. Dong Sin looked up at Wu Shen and replied softly. At that moment, in a bar, Ding Duan Long was happily drinking with some girls. Babe, drink more. Drink more. All right. Wu Shen smiled smugly. Oh, poor thing. Do you still have the mood to drink? The Ding family has been tricked like this. Ding Duan Long saw Wu Shen and gritted his teeth, saying, Wu Shen, you have changed again, and you dare to come before me? I must take Ru Bing's place to kill trash like you. Wu Shen smiled and replied, I must thank you on behalf of Ru Bing for taking care of her, but I'm not here to chat. This is the daughter of the Dong family, so mind your words. She is a witness. Ding Duan Long stammered. What witness? I don't understand. At this moment, Ding Duan Long remembered Wu Shen's words. You said the Ding family was deceived. What do you mean? Wu Shen explained. Do you know that your Dong Ho Hui gang is being monitored by the American police? Ding Duan Long, although you are stubborn, I know you and the Ding family have never been involved in drugs. Not to mention anything else, just this point alone, I, Wu Shen, admire you, so I brought Miss Dong here to inform you. At this point, Dong Sin began to speak plainly. I have been used to transport heroin. Mr. Wu and I are not lying a single word. I swear on the honor of the Dong family. Ding Duan Long was furious. Robert Leto Lai Dingshu. Damn, they dare to look down on the Ding family. We, the Ding family, will never back down. Just wait and see. That night, Dong Ho Holi and other gangs had a major conflict. The streets became chaotic, cars were parked haphazardly, and many people were running in a panic. At that moment in some room, Chief of Police Robert Leto was enjoying himself when the phone rang. He answered with annoyance. What? A riot? Notify all police forces to take action. The entire city is under curfew. Dong Sin curiously asked Wu Shen, Mr. Wu, why are we here? Wu Shen explained, Ding Duan Long has reported that Dong Ho Hui has been exploited to the Ding elders. Let's enjoy his grand performance. On the street, the chief of police announced through a loudspeaker. Everyone stopped. However, his words had no effect. He was furious. Are these people insane? They don't even listen to what I say. With no other choice, he pulled out his gun and fired a warning shot, then ordered, Everyone on the ground, arrest all these scum. In the panicked crowd, there was a girl with a scorching body running and shouting for help. Help me! Help me! Stubbornly, she inadvertently caught the eye of the police chief. He approached her, speaking softly. Oh, my dear lady, please go this way. The girl remained terrified, clinging to him and shouting, Help me! The police chief smiled gleefully. Don't worry, my dear lady. I will protect you. You are safe now. The girl quickly pulled out something and silently cursed. Die, asshole. In a flash, he sliced across his throat, blood splattering everywhere. The police chief had no time to react, only screaming in pain. Some nearby officers were stunned. Chief! As they rushed over, he had collapsed in a pool of blood. Observing from above, Wu Shen smiled and said to Dong Sin, It's truly the style of the Ding family. Even though their assets in North America have suffered greatly, they still had to kill Robert Leto to show their power. Dong Sin looked at the bloody scene with some fear. She kept placing her hand on her chest to calm herself. Suddenly, Wu Shen turned around and saw three men in black. The young man thought to himself, still want to fight me? Trying to take advantage of the chaos? Does Ding Duan Long dare to underestimate me? It seems he has forgotten the lesson from last time. Wu Shen immediately drew his gun to defend himself and protect Dong Sin. However, he thought to himself, something doesn't feel right. If I take action now, it would be like the Lai family participating in this riot. At that point, the Lai family would be affected. Old man Ding will seize the opportunity to strike at the Lai family. I can't fall into the trap. Wu Shen picked up the phone and called Ding Duanlong. Hey, Ding Duanlong, firing the gun easily implicates Miss Dong. Shall we make a deal? Ding Duanlong had a smug expression. Begging, huh? All right, come here and kneel down in front of the camera and call me Dad, and I'll spare your life. Wu Shen understood Ding Duanlong's personality well and continued. You're in North America drinking to relieve stress. Could it be that you suffered a romantic failure? You have liabilities. Let me help you this time. What do you say? Ding Duanlong was furious. Damn, so you know about my affairs? He ordered his henchmen. Bring that Wu guy to me. When he met Wu Shen, he angrily shouted, What do you know? Wu Shen calmly replied, I've only heard about the troubles of the Ding family in North America. Why haven't you asked for details yourself? He was furious and scolded. Are you a dog? All you know is to follow me around all day. Wu Shen remained calm. First, I am an intelligence merchant. Second, I have no interest in you, and I certainly don't have the time to follow you. Ding Duanlong found it hard to believe. If you have no interest, why are you being kind enough to help me? Do you think I will believe that? Wu Shen explained, I'm doing this also for Miss Dong. If she truly gets into trouble, the Ding family will have another opponent. The current situation won't be enough, and I also don't want to cause trouble for the Lai family. A peaceful negotiation is beneficial for both sides. What do you think? In response to these words, Ding Duanlong fell silent for a moment and then continued. Although I don't want to, I have to admit that your analysis is correct. Do you know that company? Behind them is Mang Longbang from Italy. In the past, even when talking to Dong Huahui, they didn't dare to speak loudly. But in recent years, our people have continually been lured into gangs by them, creating chaos beyond tolerance, with a tendency to be replaced by them. That's why Robert Lido and Lai Dingshu have taken advantage of this opportunity. Ding Duanlong paused for a moment and then continued. Recently, their target has been, Heroin Honglei. Just promoted to 432 at the beginning of this year, she is also the liaison for internal and external affairs. I don't know how long she can hold out. It's so troublesome. Wu Shen replied, Just leave it to me, but you must understand one thing. The reason I'm doing this is for Ms. Dong. Once this matter is resolved, our relationship will return to what it was. Understood. Ding Duanlong snorted coldly. Originally, you should have at least had a broken arm or leg today. You pegging me for a chance is the only reason I'm reluctantly considering it. On the way back, Wu Shen told Dong Sin, Robert Lido is dead. We can exchange information with 47 at any time, but the situation has occurred suddenly, so we need to delay for 2 days. Dong Sin asked, I understand. Where does Mr. Wu plan to go next? Wu Shen replied, I need to investigate the Tom brothers thoroughly first, especially about them recruiting people. Dong Sin joked, Mr. Wu, I feel a bit like Ms. Wang. Should I impersonate her? Hearing this, Wu Shen said, letting Ms. Dong take the risk. This. Dong Sin insisted, Mr. Wu, please trust me. I can handle it. At night, Dong Sin disguised herself as Wang Hong Mai. Mr. Wu, don't I look like Ms. Wang almost perfectly? Wu Shen replied, when you meet tomorrow, unless absolutely necessary, don't say anything. Just watch the Tom brothers in action. Dong Sin nodded, yes. The next day, she disguised herself as Wang Hong Mai. A man said to her, Ms. Wang, from now on, no matter what you see or feel, do not be shocked, because what you are about to experience is the basic treatment of our company. Ms. Wang, working for us means these slaves belong to you. You can command them to do anything, control everything about them, including their lives. As for the salary, whatever you earn at Dong Bohui, we will pay you double. Dong Sin looked over and saw a person pointing and giving orders. You all take off your clothes. Not a single piece of fabric should be left on you. The girls immediately complied and rushed towards him, obedient like real slaves. The feeling was so amazing it was almost unbelievable. The man continued to speak to Dong Sin, who was disguised as Wang Hong Mei. All right, let's continue. He went on. As for the job, the work location can be either in the South American plantations or on a fishing boat in Antarctica. The specific job will not be much different from at Dong Ho Hu. It is all about managing a team. Does Ms. Wang need to know anything else? If you find the conditions acceptable, we can sign the contract right now. At that moment, Wu Shen appeared. She doesn't need to investigate any further. She won't sign any contract with you either. A salary that is double or even becoming at the peak of fame. The conditions are so generous that a normal person cannot resist. The scar-faced man exclaimed in surprise, "Who are you? How did you get in here?" Dongsin was delighted to see Wu Shen. Wu Shen walked over and snatched the hat off the scar-faced man's head. "Harry, the second deputy gang leader of the Razor Gang, has been dissolved for 10 years now. The fact that you killed and impersonated Tom to infiltrate Tom's company. Why don't we go to the general manager's office and discuss the plan to revive the Razor Gang with Tom Brady?" The man asked Wu Shen in surprise, "Who exactly are you? How do you know about this?" At that moment, Dongsin whispered to Wu Shen about what he had seen. "The matter of enticing people from Dong Ho Hui was witnessed by me. Consider him unlucky." The scar-faced man angrily shouted, "Dan, are you kidding me?" Suddenly, a girl holding a knife rushed out from the shadows. Wu Shen quickly pushed Dongsin away. The young man did not expect he had a hidden bodyguard. When he saw the number 69 on the girl's chest, he realized, "Oh, I didn't expect to encounter propagandist 69 here. This is getting even more interesting. No need to look far, I've met her right here." Everything is becoming increasingly intriguing. In the blink of an eye, Wu Shen grabbed the wrist of the female assassin number 69 with lightning speed. "In front of me, perhaps she doesn't have many chances left, number 69. The girl was startled, her wide green eyes filled with surprise. Without giving her a chance to react, Wu Shen turned and with incredible strength threw her towards the nearby wall. Assassin 69 quickly regained her balance in midair and flicked back. She rushed towards Wu Shen, executing a spinning kick aimed directly at his head. Wu Shen leaned to the side, narrowly avoiding the blow, feeling the strong wind from the kick brush past his face. He murmured, "If it's not a killing blow, it's a break in the bloodline. How ruthless." Not stopping, both launched a flurry of attacks and defenses, moving so fast that the naked eye could hardly keep up. Fists and flying kicks sliced through the air, each move executed with precision and incredible strength. Feeling it would be hard to defeat Wu Shen, Assassin 69, and the scarred man decided to retreat. He added, "I have things to do. I'll come find you later." Dong expressed his Woen. "Mr. Wu, are you just going to let them escape like that?" The young man calmly replied, "They won't escape. Ms. Dong, please come with me to another place first." The gentle moonlight bathed the small garden behind the house. Tom Brady gently pushed his wife's wheelchair out of the door. "The mood is beautiful tonight, and the scent of the flowers is very pleasant." His wife sat motionless in the wheelchair, her eyes wide open, but devoid of life. Her glossy hair was neatly combed, but it no longer had the same lushness as before. Her fair skin, illuminated by the moonlight, appeared even paler. Tom stopped the wheelchair and handed his wife 3 branches of roses. "This is the scent you liked the most before. Please give it a sniff." His wife remained there, her vacant gaze staring off into the distance without any movement or response. Wu Shen stepped into the spacious living room of Tom Brady's mansion. He spoke in a deep and calm voice. "Mr. Tom, I have something important to discuss with you. Your wife has lost her autonomy and cannot perform any activities. You need to face reality." Tom's face suddenly changed color, his eyes filled with rage. He stood up abruptly and shouted loudly, "Do you dare to say she is a vegetable? She is just angry with me. She is just upset." Wu Shen maintained his composure in the face of Tom's fierce reaction. He continued speaking, his tone resolute. "Mr. Tom, I understand your emotions, but you need to face the truth. I know about the accident 8 years ago." Wu Shen continued, 8 years ago, your wife was pregnant and about to give birth. Your company was in trouble with the gang. You chose to take your employees to fight and left your wife with your brother, Tom Huss. The road was slippery due to heavy rain, and Tom Huss flipped the car. Although he tried his best to save your wife with the explosion of the vehicle, not only did she lose the child, but she was also thrown back by the shockwave and became a vegetable. Your brother, in order to protect your wife, had his face disfigured and was severely injured. Wu Shen paused for a moment and continued, "Mr. Tom, while you won the street fight, fate played a cruel trick on you. That night, as both of them were dying, they encountered Harry Diego, the Razor Gang boss who had been eliminated 2 years ago. Harry Diego saw your brother's burnt face and devised a wicked plan. He killed your brother, Tom Huss, and then threw himself into the fire, burning his face to match your brother's injuries to deceive everyone. He even destroyed his own vocal cords." Wu Shen looked directly into Tom Brady's eyes and said, "Do you understand what I'm saying?" At this point, Tom Brady's eyes filled with a horrifying realization. "Are you saying that for the past 8 years, my brother hasn't been my brother?" Wu Shen affirmed. "Not only that, but even the doctor who diagnosed your wife was one of his." Wu Shen took out his phone and opened a video. "This is the evidence. Please watch carefully." The sound in the video played. "Don't hit me anymore. Don't hit me anymore. I will talk everything. I tricked him, saying that I have now recovered 60%. I just am angry and don't want to say it. Tom Brady looked at his wife with a worried expression. Wu Shen continued, for the past 8 years, you have taken care of your wife out of guilt, while Harry Diego has been everywhere taking the company's money, pulling people in to resurrect the Razorblade gang. Harry Diego has mainly recruited from Dong Ho Hu, and Dong Ho Hu will certainly not sit still and accept this. It will be a bloody storm again. Tom Brady murmured. To get back on the right track, Wu Shen knew Tom Brady felt guilty towards his wife, so he played on his psychology. If you really want to do something for your wife, bring Tom's company back on track. Don't let your wife, who has always hoped you would go the right way, be disappointed. If you agree, Miss Dong here can help you get rid of those people. Tom Brady looked at his wife with a tender gaze. I have to go deal with something for a while, my dear. I will be back with you soon. Dong Sin saw this scene and thought to himself, the man is really emotional. 2 hours later, on the outskirts of New York, Assassin 69 and Harry stood in front of a hole. It's been 8 years, and the money and items hidden here are really effective. Assassin 69 asked him, is this all of it? Harry grinned wickedly. Don't worry, your salary for next year won't be short. Don't even mention next year. The money here for 10 years won't be a problem. Just need these things. And here, my clever brain. I'm sure I can start over. Unexpectedly, 69 suddenly pulled out a gun and coldly shot Harry. She was about to grab the bag of money when Wu Shen arrived. Wonderful, wonderful. Harry calculated carefully, only to end up making a fool for the propagandists. You, number 69, how long have you been ready to rob? When Wu Shen exposed the plot to kill Harry for the money, Assassin 69 quickly pointed the gun at Wu Shen, her green eyes flashing with danger. You again. What does this have to do with you? Wu Shen replied with a smile. In Hoaxia, this situation is often understood as fate. Wu Shen suddenly flew up, yet his gaze remained eerily calm. In an instant, he unexpectedly swung his hand and threw the dagger toward Assassin 69 with lightning speed, accompanied by the words, "Don't you remember anything I told you?" The girl was startled, reflexively trying to dodge, but it was too late. A knife whizzed through the air, hitting her gun-holding wrist. The pain caused her to drop the gun, the sound of metal hitting the ground echoing in the still night. Seizing the opportunity, Wu Shen rushed forward with incredible speed. The young man reached out and gripped Assassin 69's neck tightly. Wu Shen's large body was like a steel wall, blocking all of her escape routes. In a confident tone, Wu Shen said, "You have no chance in front of me." 69 groaned in pain a few times and then tried to struggle, her legs kicking hard against Wu Shen. But the difference in strength was too great. Each punch and kick she delivered felt like hitting a boulder. Her breath became increasingly hurried, her eyes revealing clear panic. Stop struggling. The more you struggle, the tighter it gets until you can't breathe. That would put me in a difficult position. 69 still refused to surrender, but she knew this fight was over. Her body gradually became limp, lacking the strength to resist any longer. Wu Shen whispered in her ear, "Actually, if you don't resist, I could loosen a bit to make you more comfortable." Wu Shen relaxed his grip slightly, enough for her to breathe easier. Now she could speak. Assassin 69, with piercing eyes fixed on Wu Shen, cursed. "Son of a bitch!" Unexpectedly, a voice rang out from the tree. "Ha ha ha! Should we save number 69? She seems to be reaching her limit." As he finished speaking, he jumped down to the ground with professionalism. Wu Shen glanced at him, smiling meaningfully. "Interesting, interesting. Propagandist, I've found another one." Wu Shen looked at the man and asked, "Among the propagandists, are you here to save 69? Number 69 saw him and shouted, "Number 18, hurry and save me." However, at this moment, number 18 spoke coldly. "We, the propagandists, are not a friendly group." He swiftly drew a handgun, aiming it at Wu Shen. "You know the rules. If you're captured and can't escape, you should end it yourself." The young man pressed down hard on 69's shoulders, thinking, 69 must be safely handed over to Dong Sin. She can't die. Number 18 smirked. "Want to take 69 away? She's already in my hands. You don't need to worry about what happens next." Just as he finished speaking, Wu Shen and 69 were nowhere to be seen. Number 18 called out into the surroundings, "No one can escape my gun." Wu Shen sat at the base of a tree and replied, "I don't think your shooting skills can be better than mine." Number 18 was angry that Wu Shen looked down on him. "Are you looking down on me with that statement? According to the organization's statistics, my shooting skills are currently top-notch. The number of people who can beat me can be counted on one hand." Wu Shen suggested, "How about we make a bet? If I win, I'll take her away. If I lose, it's up to you how to handle it." Of course, number 18 was very curious and asked, "How do we bet?" The young man explained the betting method. You pick a target, I can make your bullet miss. Do you want to bet? Number 18 confidently responded, that's ridiculous. I'll shoot the egg on top of that bird's nest. Fine, he and Wu Shen stood side by side. Number 18 aimed at the bird's nest in a tree and shot. Wu Shen quickly threw a knife to deflect number 18's bullet, causing it to miss the bird's nest. He panicked and thought to himself, how could this be? How did he do that? I see now. In fact, he acted 0.3 seconds earlier. His knife blocked my bullet, changing its trajectory. He predicted my timing and bullet path accurately. Wu Shen thought to himself, yeah, nothing more than restarting a few times. The young man said to him, it seems like I've won. Number 18 turned away with a bitter expression and said, you kidnapped number 69. The organization won't let this go. However, Wu Shen did not seem frightened. You're welcome to come anytime. The young woman carried number 69 over his shoulder, and she kept squirming and threatening. Don't be too pleased with yourself. Among the propagandists, there are many who are much better than me. Sooner or later, you will fall into our hands. Wu Shen coldly replied, you don't need to worry about my business. You should worry about yourself first. At that moment, Miss Dang appeared again and called out to Wu Shen. Wu Shen, Miss Xiang, why are you here? This land is my family's property in North America. Miss Xiang replied, that question should really be directed towards me. Wu Shen murmured, Heroin is really unfortunate to choose a place to hide things on the Xiang family's land. This situation is quite awkward. Miss Xiang curiously asked, so, who is the person you are carrying? What is your relationship with her? Wu Shen said, this is a long story. After explaining the reason for coming to America to Miss Xiang, Wu Shen tied up number 69. Miss Xiang couldn't help but be curious. Oh, are you playing a tying game? The young man explained, she is a professional assassin. If I don't use a special binding method, she might escape in an instant. Miss Xiang, with deep intentions and flushed cheeks, said to Wu Shen, if you really want to play that, I won't oppose it. Wu Shen shook his head. You've misunderstood. The girl from the Xiang family rushed towards Wu Shen and embraced the young man. I don't care, I want to. Wu Shen was a bit surprised. Xiang Xianan, this isn't like you at all. She whispered into Wu Shen's ear, well, who knows? Maybe after being with you, I've changed. I think this change in you isn't bad. Wu Shen met her request, tying her up tightly like 69. Her voice trembled as she requested, don't talk anymore, be strong. A few hours later, Miss Xiang's face was very satisfied with Wu Shen's service. She spoke without words. In short, I don't care. If I find out you have anything with 69 later, Wu Shen interrupted. I can't have anything with her. She's just a hostage. Once I've finished dealing with the Dong family, I'll contact you. 2 days later at the Dong family, Dong Sinnin happily told her family, Dad, Grandpa, Mr. Wu has brought the culprit who killed my brother back. At the Dong family, Dong Baiquan, the current head of the Dong family, held an incense stick in his trembling hand, unable to contain his emotions. Dad, our family's great revenge is about to be repaid. Dong Sin invited Wu Shen into the house to introduce him to everyone. Dong Baiquan spoke to the entire family. Brothers of the Dong family, today everyone witnesses. Our Dong family is still the Dong family. Gratitude must be repaid and revenge must be taken. Young man, you've worked hard. Wait for me to finish my main task and I will thank you later. Take the knife and follow me to my father's room. A person stepped forward and handed Baiquan a knife. He nodded. All right. Dong Baiquan took 69 to his father's shrine. Dong Sin anxiously asked, Father, do we really have to go to grandfather's room? How can we chop up the murderer in front of his portrait? The so-called blood debt must be repaid with blood. Is it really necessary to complete this? Baiquan gritted his teeth and asked, Don't you want to avenge the Dong family? Dong Sin affirmed, I really want to take revenge for my brother since he had his incident. Revenge is the most important thing in life. I always think about it. But I see your method as unwise. After interacting with the propagandists, I realize our family's current weakness. In the past, we've exerted all our efforts and still couldn't find their whereabouts. If it weren't for Mr. Wu, we wouldn't have been able to capture them. Father, killing someone like 69 now is easy, but if it leads to other propagandists, the consequences will be unpredictable. Dong Baiquan said loudly, Daughter, when we can't catch the culprit, outsiders mock the Dong family for being powerless. If we catch the culprit, but don't take revenge, do we want outsiders to laugh at us? Does the Dong family lack courage? Look at these uncles. Over the years, what have we been reduced to? Dong Sin hesitated. At this moment, Wu Shen spoke up. Boss Dong, I think Miss Dong has a point. Dong Bai Quan looked at Wu Shen with a displeased expression. What do you know about the Dong family? You? Someone like you should say nothing. Although I am an outsider, I know the history of the Dong family very well. 100 years ago, the northern country went through a change of dynasty. The daughter of an exiled duke came to northeast China and had to make a living as a dancer and singer. Fortunately, she caught the attention of a wealthy local man and they married, living happily. Through the tides of time, the entire family transitioned from the upper class to ordinary citizens, migrating from the northeast to the plains center. As the times changed and through fortuitous circumstances, they became prosperous again through coal mining. Is what I said about the Dong family's history incorrect? Dong Bai Quan had to admit that Wu Shen was indeed right. Dong Xin couldn't help but be amazed. Mr. Wu seems to know my family's past like the back of his hand. Wu Shen continued. In the 1990s, the Dong family began to participate in the film industry, experimenting with a nationwide restaurant chain and diversifying their family business. However, this led to a clash with the Ma family in Guangzhou. After several decades, the two families became enemies. Later, due to the decline of their main business, the coal mine, after 10 years, the Dong family found themselves in a weakened position, being overwhelmed by the Ma family everywhere. The upscale restaurant of the Dong family, as a partner unit of the Delong Energy Group, had significant backing. Long-standing unpaid debts for meals led to cash flow issues. Several of the Dong family's cousins who went to collect debts were beaten by local thugs and left disabled. Since then, they lost their motivation, energy, and courage to work for the family clan. From that moment on, the burden of rebuilding the Dong family fell on the shoulders of Dong Xin's deceased older brother, the exceptionally talented new generation of the Dong family, Dong Yan. However, it seemed Dong Yan was too outstanding, becoming a thorn in the side of the Ma family. Upon hearing this, Dong Bai Quan asked Wu Shen to stop talking. Nevertheless, the young man continued. After Dong Yan was harmed, the hope for the Dong family to rise up faded. The grandfather, his father, died of anger after coughing up blood. At this moment, Dong Bai Quan angrily shouted, I told you to stop talking. Wu Shen calmly continued, killing number 69 might provide temporary satisfaction, but as Miss Dong just said, everyone in the Dong family will be in danger. Boss Dong, if Miss Dong encounters any more misfortune, the future of the Dong family will truly be hopeless. Dong Bai Quan's voice was now warmer. Although I say this, without avenging Yanner, my grandfather will not rest. I have an idea. I wonder if Boss Dong finds it feasible. Hand over number 69 to the City Police Department C to credit the related leaders, using this opportunity to strengthen ties, making those debt collectors wary, so they won't trouble the Dong family anymore. Dong Bai Quan's eyes lit up. Ha! Using number 69 flexibly where it can be truly more beneficial. After careful consideration, he agreed, let's do it that way. Dong Xin, you've made friends with a talented person, Dong Bai Quan said. Boss Dong, rest assured, as long as Miss Dong wants, I can still help a little. All right, young man, I almost forgot to thank you for that. At the same time, in another place, Ding Duan returned to be reprimanded by his grandfather. Duan, you disappoint me too much. You have to rely on the son-in-law of the Lai family for help. You have completely lost the Ding family's face. Grandfather, it was Wu Shen who begged me. Grandfather slammed his hand down on the table angrily. I don't want to hear your explanation right now. Even if the daughter of the Lai family marries into our family, the Lai family cannot interfere in the Ding family affairs. Moreover, it's still not the case. Wu Shen, if that's the case, you can continue to be reckless, but don't blame this old man for teaching you a little bit of rules. That night, the Dong family decided to treat Wu Shen to a comfortable night. Young man, if you don't eat anything, then I cannot be impolite to a guest. I just hope you can have a good time. Wu Shen whispered in Dong Bai Quan's ear. But having a good time doesn't necessarily mean calling men over. After all, I am Lai Ru Bing's boyfriend. My preferences are still normal. Didn't you hear? You all can go outside now. Don't just stand there. Treat the esteemed guest well. Dear guest, how do you want to play? Have you played Ice and Fire 9 Heavens yet? Good-looking guy. Or should we play this first? The girls quickly surrounded Wu Shen. However, the young man was thinking about something else in his mind. If I'm not mistaken, it might happen soon. Voices echoed from outside. Ha ha ha. How can the Dong family go out to play like this? It's so exaggerated. That's right, young men and women are lined up to call. It's so embarrassing for me. Wu Shen told the girls, Girls, I will play with you later. Step aside a bit. As the young man stepped outside, he saw someone acting rampant and arrogant. He shouted, Call someone over here. Without a moment's hesitation, Wu Shen kicked the person from the Ma family. The Dong family has been bullied by the Ma family for too long. We must help the Dong family stop this decline. We need to help the Dong family rise up and separate the Ma family from the Ding family. Wu Shen lifted the young man with blonde hair and said, "Even though I am hitting someone, it is not without reason. I will compensate. Let's go, take me to meet your boss, and I will negotiate the compensation with him." Seeing their leader knocked unconscious by a single blow, the faces of the others showed fear. They were nearly wetting their pants, and no one dared to say a word. Dong Baiquan thought in astonishment. Why did Wu Shen choose to attack them first? What is this young man actually planning? Half an hour later, at the Donglai Mining Machinery Company, the group that had just led Wu Shen to their territory, one person spoke up. Brother Kuei, hurry up and open the door. Someone wants to see the boss." The young man inside is Kuei, the local security guard. He said, "Don't you know the rules? How long have you been here? What time is it now that you dare to bother the boss? No matter how urgent it is, you have to wait until tomorrow to report it." Seeing these people working ineffectively, Wu Shen opened the door wide and said, "Sorry, I don't have time to wait." Kuei, with a grim expression, replied, "Do you not understand human language?" The young men behind him turned pale with fear filled with dread. The young man in black whispered, "This isn't going to end well. Kuei is furious." The blonde young man softly replied, "Kuei is the #1 fighter in City C and also the champion of mixed martial arts. If he gets any more upset, we'll be caught in the crossfire. When bulls fight, flies die. Step back a bit." Despite the fact that this man was a head taller, Wu Shen still stood confidently without fear. Kuei spoke up, "If you don't understand human language, let me teach you. No sense of decency at all. Is it just that easy?" After saying that, he swung a powerful attack, intending to knock Wu Shen out. But Wu Shen managed to dodge it even with his eyes closed. He stood relaxed yet imposing, one hand in his pocket, while the other demonstrated to the tall man how to throw a hook punch. One blow knocked him down. And Kuei, a king of fighting or something, was now lying motionless, his eyes glazed over with a bit of drool coming out, as if he had just eaten something poisonous by mistake. Young people could hardly believe their eyes. What holy shit! And Kuei was defeated in the blink of an eye. The blonde young man thought, "Ho, how lucky I am to still be alive. The man who just kicked me must have been gentle. Otherwise, I would have had to meet my ancestors by now." Wu Shen coldly turned his head and asked, "Now can I meet your boss?" The scene shifted inside, where two beautiful young women were sitting with their feet soaking, looking quite reluctant. There was also a fat old man slurping water, thirsty for a few months without a drink. This man was the chairman of the Donglai Mining Machinery Company, Wang Donglai. The fat old man, with a pleased expression, said, "Ha ha, the footwash of the two goddesses is really delicious. This person has a truly disgusting perversion." Wu Shen turned on the camera and entered, saying, "I heard that he is the lackey of the Ma family, and Wang Donglai has a special preference. It truly is said that seeing is believing." Wu Shen was also helpless in front of this perversion. While sipping his drink, he was interrupted and snapped irritably, "Damn, who dares to ruin my mood? Kuei, where are you? Don't you want to come here and throw this guy out? Don't you want to get paid any more?" Wu Shen gallantly handed the two girls a towel to wipe their feet and said, "Ladies, you can wait outside. I have a private matter to discuss with Boss Wang." Seeing the others had left, Wu Shen said to Wang Donglai, "We don't need to waste time. I want you to leave City C as far as possible." The man arrogantly lit a cigarette and replied, "My personal preferences aren't illegal. Moreover, I'm conducting legitimate business. Want to drive me away? What grounds do you have?" Wu Shen coldly sat down and said, "I'm well aware of your activities involving violence and destruction. The Ma family sent you to City C to create trouble for the Dong family." He responded, "Everyone knows this like the back of their hand. You think you can get rid of me here based on that? That's quite laughable. But it seems you have some skills to have made it past Kuei to get here. If you know what's good for you, leave right now and I can pretend nothing happened." Wu Shen continued, "I'm not finished yet. Look around. Why is your office built here? Let me remind you a little." Hearing this, he began to sweat. Wu Shen continued, "When suppressing the Dong family, you had your sights on this mining company. After being denied the acquisition, you ruthlessly killed all 100 people in this company and buried their bodies here. You built your company's headquarters here specifically to prevent their bodies from being found." Hearing this, Wang Donglai's face turned pale with fear. He thought, who is this kid? How does he know about this? Wu Shen further elaborated on the previous troubles with the Dong family. The Ma family would step in to help him solve the issues, but once this horrific massacre was exposed, no one in this world would be able to save him. Threatened, Wang Donglai could only kneel and plead for mercy. From the way he spoke, it seemed that he couldn't escape his connection to the Dong family. Did you come to help the Dong family? Even if I leave this city, the situation of the Dong family won't improve much. In the end, Wu Shen agreed with his statement. Moreover, the leader of the Delong Energy Corporation is the one who truly helps the Ma family suppress the Dong family. I know, Wu Shen said with a slight smile, patting Wang Donglai's shoulder. After you leave, he will be next. Seeing that Wu Shen wasn't joking, Wang Donglai fearfully replied, Yes, I understand. I'll go. He stepped outside at his Ferrari to leave. He thought it was time to do something else now. Hello, my dear sister. Check the information I just sent you. On the other end of the line, and Huang replied, you said you would take me out for fun, so I would go out with you. But instead, you make me work. Is that fun? You're a fraud. Wu Shen replied, Of course. If I'm not mistaken, this will be extremely shocking. Hearing this, and Huang quickly typed on the keyboard, looking surprised as she said, I've prepared it. City C is indeed very difficult. All right, the address you need has been decoded. I'm sending it to you right now. The scene shifts to the Phoenix Mental Hospital in City C. Two figures are walking down the hallway. The person in the hat said, Brother Lai, I've paid in full this time. Don't do like last time and kick me out after just a few minutes. The person called Brother Lai replied, Last time was because you wanted to take your pants off. If you stick to the rules, I won't kick you out. With a crafty look on his face, he advised, She used to be with a big leader. If she were crazy, it wouldn't be your turn to enjoy her. Even in the next life, we couldn't dream of a woman of such perfection. Every part of her is beautiful like a painting. The person in the hat lewdly responded, That's right. Brother Lai is right. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't even dare to think about having fun with a beauty. Lai immediately opened the door to a hospital room and reiterated once again, I already said you can mess around with your hands anywhere you want. I'll take care of the cleaning. But if you take off your pants to do it for real, then that's absolutely not allowed. Don't blame me for kicking you out again. Inside the room, on the hospital bed, was a girl with both hands tightly bound by iron chains. He stepped in, saw the beautiful woman who had been sedated, and filled with excitement said, Your sleeping princess is here. Your husband has come. He then began to caress and check her body from head to toe. Indeed, every curve was exquisite, full, and voluptuous. As Lai had said, he could be wrong. He took a lick to taste the plump fruit, then exclaimed, Beautiful lady, you smell so good, so fragrant. Seeing that the scent through her clothes wasn't enough, he slowly started to unbutton her shirt, saying, Ha, this milk-white skin is also so round. I really want to taste it. At that moment, his hungry little bird wanted to sing. He stated, I've paid for 15 minutes, I want to do it twice. But outside, the man with glasses had been knocked unconscious by Wu Shen. Seeing him about to do something wrong, Wu Shen peeked in inside. You're really pathetic. He was caught off guard and shouted in shock, Who are you, Lai? Before he could call out, Wu Shen struck him down, knocking him unconscious, but he didn't forget to hold onto the small bird for fear it would fly away. Wu Shen looked at the girl and thought this was Jiang Ling, the former lover of Liao Guoguang, the chairman of the Daylong Group. He felt a bit sorry for her, having chosen the wrong person and living like this, losing her humanity. At that moment, Jiang Ling slowly opened her eyes. Wu Shen, sitting beside her, said, You're awake now? Jiang Ling saw her button undone and the strange man in front of her, then jumped up, questioning, Who are you? Get away from me. Wu Shen gestured for her to be quiet and asked, Who is the man lying on the ground? Are you sure the people in this mental hospital will save you? Jiang Ling sensed that Wu Shen was not a threat, calmed down, and replied, That's Nurse Lai. He often takes care of me, and he's quite nice. Wu Shen responded, It seems you don't know anything about being harassed. Hearing this, Jiang Ling was taken aback and said, What? What did you just say? I've been harassed? Wu Shen said seriously, The person taking care of you is named a Lai. This person not only harasses you, but also accepts money from others to do so. If I hadn't arrived in time, they would have truly made you pregnant. I can't even imagine how they would ruin you. After hearing this, Jiang Ling's face flushed red with anger. She said, I am not sick, and I am certainly not insane. When I leave this hospital, I will sue all of them, and these perverts will go to jail for the rest of their lives. Wu Shen continued, But surely someone is manipulating the psychiatric evaluation about your mental state. Whether you are truly insane or not depends on you. Now, please tell me how you ended up here. At this point, Jiang Ling recounted the entire process to Wu Shen. After discovering that she had been deceived by Liao Guoguang, she had caused a commotion with him and demanded a divorce, but he refused. She threatened to go to the prosecutor's office to file a lawsuit against him. As a result, she was dismissed and sent to this mental hospital. You won't forget these things, will you? Upon hearing this, Jiang Ling fell silent. Wu Shen said sincerely, How about we make a deal? You told me what happened with Liu Gu Guang, and I will help you leave here safely, okay? Jiang Ling asked in confusion. Who are you? Why should I trust you? Wu Shen then used a key to unlock her handcuffs and continued, Who I am is not important. What matters now is that you can only trust me. Jiang Ling looked at the two perverts with annoyance and spoke up. In this case, I must add another condition. I want these two pieces of trash to never be able to harm another woman again. Wu Shen advised, This is all a small matter. I will deal with them. However, before that, you need to stay here to avoid alerting the enemy, learn how to protect yourself when I'm not around, and especially avoid being drugged. Then Jiang Ling whispered something to Wu Shen about Liu Gu Guang. He smiled and replied, All right, it's settled. The scene shifts to the next day at the pig slaughterhouse on the outskirts, where a staff member spoke up to stop them. What are you doing here? This is an important factory. Outsiders are not allowed to enter freely. Wu Shen, who was there with Mr. Dong for a visit, replied, Manager Liu invited us to discuss something. The young security guard questioned, Oh, but why have I never seen you before? Wu Shen then took out his phone and said, If it were the most important matter, Manager Liu wouldn't have his right-hand man take action. You haven't spoken directly to Manager Liu, have you? Let me call him. If anything happens, you'll be responsible. Hearing that, the security guard became frightened and said, I understand. No need to call. Please come in. Wu Shen asked, When will the truck behind arrive at the right position? Mr. Dong replied, Don't worry, I've taken care of everything you requested, but I don't understand why we came to this pig farm. When he reached a metal door, Wu Shen slowly opened it and said, Boss Dong, take a look for yourself. Don't be too surprised. Behind the metal door, a dazzling light from piles of gold filled the room. Mr. Dong stood frozen, stammering. This gold must weigh about a ton, right? Wu Shen replied, Boss Dong, this is the cost of the meals for the Dong family's restaurant. For the next 10 years, take it all. No need to leave anything behind, even the gold dust. Mr. Dong asked, What the hell is happening? Wu Shen patted the older man on the shoulder to reassure him. Don't worry, I will talk to Liu Gu Guang and then meet with Boss Dong. Switching scenes to a room, Liu Gu Guang's face was filled with excitement. The seductive moans of a girl about to climax suddenly stopped when Wu Shen spoke. Oh, Brother Liu, are you here to learn English again? Seeing a stranger in the room, the foreign girl exclaimed in shock. Holy shit. Gu Guang put away his weapon and questioned, Who are you? Get out now. Wu Shen sighed and replied, Anyway, this girl is a foreigner and doesn't understand what we're saying. As long as she lowers her tone and stops yelling, it'll be fine. Also, Boss Liu, I've taken care of the pig factory in the outskirts. Your treasure, so there's no need to thank me. Hearing this, Gu Guang was so angry he wanted to curse. Wu Shen laughed and said, Of course, you can't call the police. With an annual salary of nearly $2 million, how can you explain to the government that your house has gold worth over $200 million? After so many years, you and your subordinates have eaten for free at the Dong family's restaurant, making quite a bit of money. Now consider this debt between you and the Dong family settled, but your interest has not been counted yet. Gu Guang darkened his face and asked, How dare that garbage do this to me? Wu Shen said, With Manager Liu's political record, he will be promoted very quickly and could work in City C for another 5 years in a higher position. Continuing to mistreat the Dong family is a given, but I advise you not to do that. Wu Shen warned, Because it's easy for you to obtain this official position, but losing it is even easier. Once upon a time, when Manager Liu was not yet a secretary, he was promoted rapidly due to providing a stable home for his boss's pregnant mistress. He helped him raise his son and take care of him, but Liu found himself next to his boss's stunning wife every day without the ability to touch her. Wu Shen continued, he was so frustrated that he got himself drunk, tore apart his boss's wife's dress, and flirted with her. He violently abused her that night and recorded a video of her as evidence, using it to threaten her into silence in front of his boss. Later, when he met Jiang Ling, if it weren't for this marriage, the two could be seen as having a free relationship. But Woen didn't want a home. He could not provide Jiang Ling with the home she desired. After hearing the entire story, the old man's face started to sweat profusely. Wu Shen continued. Jiang Ling pressured him to marry her, and he couldn't explain it. While drunk, he revealed all the secrets about his marriage to Jiang Ling, even showing her the video. So Jiang Ling wants to expose the truth in exchange for her freedom. But after regaining his composure, he realized he had caused a major incident, so he took Jiang Ling to a psychiatric hospital. However, she had hidden the USB, and it is now in my possession. So, Manager Liu, either the suppression of the Dong family ends here, and you continue to hold your high position, or you go to prison to make friends with bards, and the Dong family is completely liberated. How does Boss Liu want to choose? Gu Guang stared blankly and replied, You speak as if I have a choice. Wu Shen then left, adding, also, Jiang Ling, I've agreed to take her away. You don't need to worry about her anymore. The scene shifts to Lai Ru Bing's company in Donghai in the PR office. Everyone is a bit anxious, and a girl speaks up. What's going on? Why does it smell like something is about to catch fire? Something is not right. As soon as she finished speaking, the office erupted with a loud explosion that resonated throughout the area. Only Lai Ru Bing's family was startled and jumped up. Was that sound an explosion?